We're going to make some coasters on tile with resin, and black diamond pigments are in this batch too. I hope you enjoy it. Hi everybody, it's Janet Rockware for Moonkusser Art. I'm going to do another set of coasters today. And again, I'm going to use black diamond pigments, and I'm also using a Artisue pigment. Let's see, Artisue metallic pigment. It's bright gold. I've already measured out my resin, and I've got both parts A and B in the cup. I'm using 4 ounces. And if you've watched my videos, I like to figure out my measurements right on the sides of my container. I measure it with a scale, and I measure out the parts by using water. It's important to know that the epoxy resin and the hardener, which is a 1-to-1 mixing epoxy, they actually have different weights. So you can't measure those on a scale. You can use measuring cups that have measurements, and you can do that by, just using a cup that's got those scales on there. I find some of my cups, though, don't have all the scales that I need. So if I'm looking to get a combined weight of 20 ounces, they don't have 10 ounces marked. Maybe they've got 12 ounces marked. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's kind of kooky to me. Anyway, I'm using Countertop Epoxy resin again. This is their premium FX. And you can see, look at that in a white cup. It's crystal clear. So it's really nice resin to work with. It gets a very hard, high gloss finish with it. It sets up rather quickly, probably one of the quicker ones that I work with. But in these cases, it's really a blessing to have that, because it's going to just get everything set up real quick. So their recommendation is to mix it for 3 minutes and then transfer it to another cup. And again, mix it. And I will be honest with you, I don't take that extra transfer to another cup. I'm just going to mix it all in one container and then start working with it. But I am very careful to mix it thoroughly. So I'm scraping my sides and getting everything mixed in. I'm even scraping my stick against the edge of the cup, letting that drain down in there, and then mixing again. And that way I feel good that I haven't missed any spots, and I'm not going to have any soft areas in my resin when it's starting to cure. If you've had that happen, it's very sad, because I find that if I've had a bad mix, I feel like I just wasted a lot of money. So I'm careful to do my mixing, and I have had it happen to me, so you have to correct it, and boy, is it a pain in the neck. Anyway, so I think that's pretty good. I don't see any of the strings that I call in there. There's some bubbles, but that's okay. The bubbles are gonna get popped out using the torch or the heat gun, whichever way I go with it. And that looks really good. So there's that one. Okay. Again, Artisue pigment. This is a really nice gold and black diamond. I'm going to use the Merlot and black diamond's black diamond. So I do my color chips. I haven't done one for the black yet, but this is the Merlot, and I think it's a real nice color. You can see I write on the back what it is, and I like to grab those, and it helps me make quick decisions on what I'm going to do. I've already put the powder in my paper cups. That way I don't have to have a mask on. My cup just toppled over from the popsicle stick. But that way I'm controlling the dust a little bit. You got to be careful, and you don't want to get that and breathe that in. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of resin in with that black. And I'm not going to need a lot, because this is going to be one of my accent colors. And same thing for the red, just a little bit. The primary color is going to be that gold. So these are just to add a little bit of detail on there. Okay. And let's mix those up. So I started out mixing slowly. This has got some really pretty sparkle to it. I hope you guys can see that. See if I can't get a little bit closer. Wow, that's pretty. And I like these black diamond pigments. I've used them before. I've been using them for about 2 years now. And I just got a whole bunch of sample packets from them. And so I've been doing a little bit more playing around. And I have to be honest with you, I'm really pleased with how they incorporate into your resin. Sometimes you can get some clumping with dry pigments. But I'm not having that issue at all. So far, I haven't seen anything like that. So that's the black. And let's get this red mixed. Again, this is the Merlot. Really nice. It's got a real pretty sheen to it. Let's just get this a little poof. Go up the cup there. So get that incorporated in. And you have to be careful because these powder pigments are so lightweight, they become airborne. So make sure when you start stirring slowly. Otherwise, you're just going to make them airborne. And then you can speed up your stir. There it is. All right, very pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to get that gold. So there's my Artisue bright gold. And I don't need very much because I'm not doing a lot. Pigment goes a long way. I can take this out of here. Scrape that down. Don't want to miss a drop. All right. Now let's get that. And the Artisue pigment, that's a paste. So she's in Australia, and I've gotten these quite a while ago now. And you can see it's a really nice bright gold. I might want to add a little bit more color because I want to make sure that I'm covering my sides with color. And I think I am, because I'm looking at it and I can see through. And that's not going to work for how I want this on this piece. So I'm going to add a little bit more color. So we'll get a little bit more. I want this gold to be really intense and create a nice base. Let's get it mixed in there. Yeah, there it goes. I don't want the gold to be transparent. I want the gold to be really the focus of this coaster. All right. Much better. All right. Now again, I'm using 4 ounces of resin, so it's about 1 ounce for each coaster. These are white bathroom tiles that I got at Home Depot, 4x4, and they're cheap. I want to say maybe 12 cents, 16 cents, somewhere in that price range. So what I did is I taped off the backs using the 3M edge lock tape, and it's right onto the edge. I do that so that after I do my pour and it's cured, I can peel the tape off and I don't have to do any grinding for the bottom side of these. I'm going to allow the resin to flow over the edge. I use plastic yogurt cups with a donut, and that's my stand so that they're not sitting on the tabletop. And the other thing I did was I used a Craftsmart marker, which I got at, I get those at Michael's. And the Craftsmart markers work good. They're I think they're an enamel marker. This is gold, and I just wanted to make sure that I had good color coverage on that. Again, there's that tape right up to the edge and my stand that's going to help me work this. All right. I also, when I was doing the taping, I saw that I was leaving fingerprints all over the surface of this. So what I did was I put a little bit of alcohol. This is just 91% alcohol. And I put that on a paper towel, and then I just quickly wipe it down. And that way I'm sure to get any oils off of my fingers from the surface, and it's not going to leave any areas that are going to repel the resin. Resin's a pretty sticky stuff, but I don't want to pour and have one spot trying to leave it. So let's do this pour. Get these out of my way. I like to start right in the center. My tabletop is leveled. And you can see how it's just making its nice circle. That's a good indication that I did a good job leveling it out. And I can just use that stick and start spreading that resin right to the edge. Because again, this is my primary, so I want the whole thing to cover, and then I'm just going to incorporate that black and that Merlot color right into it. You can use your hand. I have nitrile gloves on. I do that many, many times. I just stick my hand right into it. Which actually I might end up doing because I like to be able to get it onto the edge. And when I have it on my fingertip, I can actually feel by the way the resin is moving on those sides if I've got good coverage. So I've got those all covered, and I'm going to just use a paper towel that I soaked with, excuse me, I soaked with alcohol because I had the resin on my fingertip and not too many other places. I did pretty good. And it takes that resin off. It's not completely off, but it's good enough for me to continue working. Okay, so again, I've got that black, really pretty. The other thing I noticed, I have on a big sweatshirt, and I saw my sweatshirt strings hanging as I was coating those sides. So I want to make sure those don't get dipped in there. All right, now I like to add a couple of drops of 99% alcohol. I'm going to put it in the black, and I'm hoping that when I add some heat, I'm going to get some effects. That's a lot of alcohol. I usually don't put that much in there, but I think I put like 5 drops, and that's about not even half an ounce of resin in there. Okay, so these are little paper Dixie cups. I don't know what you call them, bathroom cups or whatever. And you can pinch them and make a really great little spout. So I'm just going to pour some designs on here and let the resin do its thing. See, I always do that. I always pour heavy-handed on my first one, and then start running out. But there's more in here. I just need to scrape it so that I get it to flow out. But this black is really nice against this gold. That's pretty. I'm liking that black. I'm almost wondering if I should skip the red. It looks so pretty. Well, maybe I'll do another one, but for now, let's try it with the red. I'm only going to add a little bit, so I'm going to let it come off the stick rather than pouring it. Liking it a lot, so let's get the torch and put a little heat on there. And that's popping the bubbles, and it starts thinning out that resin, and the heat will make reactions, especially having that alcohol in there. I can see the black spreading out nicely. And you want to keep your torch moving. You don't want to get it so hot that it scorches. And then we're going to use the heat gun. right, so I took you down off of the tripod and I want to get you a closer look. I'm all done pouring. I'm all done fiddling around with it. It was a really quick process, and these are the results. Now it's going to keep moving a little bit. All the bubbles are out because I torched and I used the heat gun, and it looks really good. Nice little bit of lacing out of that. Sorry about the reflection. And these are looking good. I like the color combination. A lot of detail in there. All right, so that's it. I'm going to babysit these for a little bit. I like to take off as much of the drip down here as I can. You can see that it's still running, but it's only going to take maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. And it's really going to start setting up. So I'll come with my handy dandy popsicle stick there, and I'll just scrape that off, and then I'll also cover them up to keep any dust from settling on them so that I get a real nice finish. And that's it. A set of coasters will be done with cork on the bottom tomorrow. Hi everybody, it's Janet Rockware again. And I am back to finish off these coasters that I did. I love them. I took them outside this morning. I've got some beautiful blue skies and bright sunshine after 3 days of rain. So I ran outdoors with them and took a bunch of pictures of them. And now I am ready to put the cork on the bottom. So let me get this camera set up for you guys, and we'll get you a view of what we're going to do here. So look at these things. Aren't they pretty? Whoa, so shiny. Countertop epoxy, boy, you do a great job getting that sheen on there. Really nice. Trying not to get the shine so you can see the detail in there, but really fun details. Again, that 99% alcohol in just one of the resin colors makes a lot of action happen. So give that a try. You don't need much, just a couple of drops. Again, I was working in very small amounts, so yeah, it works good. Look at this one. Look at that. Nice stuff, huh? Anyway, so I am going to be using the, this is the glue I like to use. It's the E6000, and it's a really great adhesive. I've used it in the past. It holds up super on the coasters. I like to put a cork backing. So there it is. I put a cork backing on mine. They come pre-cut. There's the packaging. And again, these are just bath tiles. Plain old bath tiles. Look at how clean my back is from doing my tape. Just use the heat gun, warm it up, and whoosh, off it goes. So anyhow, I'm going to be gluing these on. And then I let them sit and dry for 48 hours. The glue, I believe the packaging, the glue manufacturer's recommendation is for 48 to 72 hours. And I can truly tell you that depending on what surface you have them sitting and drying on, that will change the timeline of getting it to dry. So there was one time I had it sitting directly on a vinyl tabletop surface, and it actually made the tabletop get wavy because of the gases that were being released by the glue. It went away, so I wasn't, upset about it or anything. But what I like to do now is I put down a sheet of the freezer paper and put the cork side down on the sheet of the freezer paper, and that way it just creates a paper barrier between the tabletop and the cork with the glue on it, because it's getting trapped in there. So let's see if I can't get this good for you guys here. Alright, so this tube, I've used other ones. This one actually has a nice little pointed tip on it, and that really makes it just that much easier to apply the glue. You don't need a lot, so I'm just going to run a bead. I don't go close to the edge because, you know, when you squish it down, you get that, you know, it's going to push it because it wants to get flat. But I do cover the area. So that's it. That's all I do. Whoop. My glue is already dripping out. So I'm going to put it right on top of another one sitting over here, because you can see the tip is got a little bubble of glue there. Actually, it went back in already. So I'm going to turn over my tile, and I'm just going to position this in the center of the tile, and then I'm going to press down. Just like that. And that's it. It's going to get set aside and ready to dry. So let's do another one. Oh, sorry. Almost did it right onto the tile. You can do it right onto the tile, but I like to do it on the cork. That way I know exactly where my border is, because the cork is just slightly smaller than the bathroom tile. So I'm not worried about having a spot where I put the glue and it's escaping. Alright. And away we go. I'm really, really happy with how the Black Diamond pigments are performing for me. The colors are spectacular, and I'm actually so pleased with the performance. The powders, mixing them into resin can sometimes get a little clumpy, but I have not had that issue. I have been doing my little test puddles as I've had some leftover resin, and even incorporating it into resin that has been sitting in a cup and getting a little thicker. It's still getting incorporated really well. So I'm a fan of Black Diamond, and they've got loads of colors. So now the pigments too are really great. I just did I'm going to show it to you in a second here. I did a test puddle yesterday of a color that, yeah, I can't wait to use it. It's so pretty. It surprised me, actually. I didn't expect how it looked when I mixed it into the resin. It was such a nice surprise that I was really happy with it. So, there they are. Again, I'm going to position these on a flat tabletop surface to dry. They all have their corks glued onto the back. And I like to stack books on top. Overkill probably, but you know me, what can I say? I overkill. And my freezer paper, I'm going to just fold that over just like that, And then that way the freezer paper is protecting the surface of my coasters so that when I set the books on there, I'm not worried about any kind of problems. So there's another tip for you. Okay, I'm just going to push those aside for now. Actually, I want to show you this color real quick, but I want to show it to you on white paper. So let's try to get that. Look at this color. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be using it. Just moving the light so that I can try to get this as best I can for you. This is called Scarlet by Black Diamond. Now, I might have to take a picture of it outside in the sun because my lighting here on my work table is not the best. But let's see if I can't get it a little better there. I will. I'll take a picture outside and I'll post that in. But this color, oh, it is beautiful. It's this really like reddish pink, and it has this pearl to it where the pink really just sparkles through. Lovely. Just lovely. I'm excited to use it in something. I have to plan a piece just around this color now. So, yeah, Black Diamond. Love ya. All right. I'm going to go set these up. And I hope you enjoyed the video. This was hopefully a quick one. And I hope you got some great tips. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments that I get. I really can't tell my followers, my subscribers, how much I enjoy hearing from you. And I'm really thrilled when you tell me that you feel confident enough that you're going to go give something like this a try, because that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to inspire you to give it a go. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.